Bob in Garden Valley, Idaho. Great to have you on Open Line Friday. Hello, sir.
El Rospo.
Hey.
How you doing, sir?
Very, very well, sir. Thank you.
The reason for my call is this Trump and Cruz bashing.
Yeah.
I discovered something out about the United States government a long time ago while I was still in the Army. And because of that oath, I've lived by it since. But going back to the Trump and Cruz bashers, they're doing this because they're very afraid of what Trump and Bush can do. Do I like either one of them? Well, I won't say. That's between me and my Creator above. But these people that are going out of their way to intentionally verbally harm Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, they are actually the people that your listeners, all 6 of them, yes, that's a joke,
Time is dwindling here.
Need to understand that those are the people they need to not listen to. They need to listen to people like Trump and Cruz because they are, in fact, telling at least a modicum.
Okay, I got it. We'll be right back here. A man, a legend, a way of life. The last caller, his point was that all of these people that he didn't identify them, but you know who they are, attacking Cruz, attacking Trump. And he's a seasoned citizen of sorts and served in the military. And his point was that he's seen a lot. And he was going to say, when unfortunately time ran out here, he was going to say that these critics are just trying to protect their money. I mean, to put it basic essentials, that everybody's trying to protect their money. Whoever is trying to protect their donors, protect their clients or keep their donors donating and keep their clients buying and what have you. Then, in other words, it's all personal, this opposition to Trump. There is a lot of fear out there. I addressed this earlier this week, long before the National Review story hit, and it was in relationship, if you recall, to this piece that I dredged up in 1996 that presaged, if you will, that predicted this very point in time in American history, predicted almost to a T the Trump campaign. The guy who wrote it in 1996 was an advisor then to Pat Buchanan. And one of the points that he made in his piece, he said, Pat, if you're going to go anywhere, you're going to have to stop talking about being a conservative. You can't, they're not going to do anything for you. They're not going to help you, but it's limiting you because what's happening here is beyond conservatism. Well, Buchanan couldn't drop conservatism. He was too closely identified as one. He had run in 1992, I think it was 96 as well, as a conservative. He was a conservative columnist. He was the conservative part of Crossfire for all those years on CNN. So he couldn't abandon conservatism. And what this columnist was suggesting was that populism, nationalism was going to sweep the country because of the failure of the other things. That as the ruling class, he called it a different thing then, but as they continued to usurp the very economics of the country, that more and more people would have less and less. And that what's happening today, as it illustrated, the Trump campaign was inevitable. It was going to happen at some point. He didn't know when. He was hoping it would happen sooner than it did, as in now, but it's happening. One of the points that he made in the piece, anyway, he warned Buchanan. He said, you don't need these other conservatives. He said, one of the problems is going to be that they are going to realize that they have nothing to do with the insurgency. Here they will have spent all of these years diligently writing and recording their conservative intellectual books and position papers, and they will have been advising candidates. There will be think tanks and all this made up of the smartest, brightest conservatives ever. And they're going to realize, Pat, that they are irrelevant. that all the think tanks and all the position papers and all the policy papers haven't done anything for anybody, and they will lash out and just be livid because they will want to protect what they've created. They will not want to be demonstrated as irrelevant. The guy wrote this back in 1996. And I saw it reprinted, well, excerpts of it in an issue of a web publication called The Week, and talked about it earlier this week. And our last caller was simply saying that, I mean, he didn't say it in that way, but his point was that all the opposition to Cruz and Trump is really coming from people who are afraid they're going to lose their livings if this is all successful. Because here you've got two candidates who are going to triumph, if one of them does, without the infrastructure that everybody's thought was necessary. I found it a fascinating piece, particularly given the fact that it was written back in 1996.